Hello, I'm Charlene of the Rainbow Frequency, and today I'm doing two screens at once. Never before have I done this. So, usually I do my lives on Instagram, but now I'm going live for YouTube and Instagram simultaneously. See how this goes. Let's light a candle. This is a candle that is, the intention is to bring joy. So let's bring some joy, shall we? And orange, the sacral chakra. I'll look at both of you. The sacral chakra, and that is for creativity, passion, um, our relationship to mothering and being mothered. So here we go, which is very perfect and apropos for the subject matter of the importance of self-care. We talk a lot out there in the world about the importance of self-care, and you can't operate with an empty cup. Like, if you are one of those people, which I would imagine a lot of you who are here on this feed are going to be caregivers of some sort, and people who like to nurture, people who like to give back. So the problem is that you as a person tend to give, and not give proper care. I'm going to talk to you all and fidget with my table. It's important to give time, energy, and support to yourself so that you may best then care for the world around you to the best of your abilities. That means saying no when you need to say no. It's okay to say no. Like, having healthy boundaries is one of the cornerstones to healthy relationships and love. Personally, as a energy worker in the shamanic, Reiki, very loose, flowy sense, I really rely a lot on the animal world, animism, and use that to help me navigate learning healthy boundaries. Like, I look at a lioness and how she mothers, and just the animal kingdom in general. There's a lot to be learned from the natural world, I think. And I can speak from my own experience, having become a mother, and then I put myself last on the list, or perhaps not on the list at all. I mean, I wouldn't even buy myself socks and underwear at one point. I spent gift cards on my family, and then I think I bought like one thing for myself and felt guilty, which is silly. I mean, it was my birthday money. I should have spent it on myself, suppose. But, you tend sometimes as a caregiver to be an over caregiver at your own disadvantage. And that's why I feel it's important to chat with you about these subjects. What not to do, from my experience, having done this. We learn from our experiences, we grow from our experiences, and then when we tend to be caregivers or teachers, we wish to impart from our lessons that we've learned the hard way how to give back to you, not to do it the hard way, if at all possible, if anyone will listen. As a parent, it falls on deaf ears, it seems, a lot, but really it doesn't. It's just sometimes it doesn't exhibit in the time frame that we wish it to, perhaps. But yeah, so when you, as a caregiver of any sort, doesn't matter if you're a mother or not, whatever sort of caregiver you are, if you operate from a depleted vessel, you're not really doing them that much of a service. So self-care, self-care, self-care. Take baths, take walks, whatever it is, read a book, go for a jog, go to the gym, knit, paint, sing, dance. I don't know. There's so many. I mean, there are how many damn people out there in the world? There's that many times 1,000 ways that you can self-care yourselves. You know you better than I know. So whatever it is that gives you energy in a positive manner and makes you feel reinvigorated for yourself, do that. Because if insecurity is to me one of the roots of all evil, resentment is also a forerunner. You know, resentment leads to bad behavior too. And when we deplete ourselves, we get exhausted, we get resentful, then we lash out. Basic human behavior. So yeah, if we could work on not being insecure, not depleting ourselves to the point of exhaustion and then lashing out or erupting like volcanoes. To me, as the person that I am, I think that would solve a lot of the problems out there. I'm not a rocket scientist. Here's the song right quick, and I hope I do this right because I was going to write it down, but then I was just like, no, just go live. And the song's in there, and they like it when you fly blind. That's your best way. So here we go. Who am I? The Rainbow Frequency. Okay, here we go. I'm not a singer, but they like me to do it, so I do it. And I like to sing. It makes me feel good, and it's how I've always soothed myself and my son. So I suppose it makes sense. They want me to go out of my comfort zone and sing for the world. So here we go. Who am I? And I think you guys will clue into who this is a bit of an homage to, because I gain inspiration from everywhere and anyone. And here we go. Hello world, hello multiverse, hello everything. I am grateful for who and what I am. I'm a creator, I'm a vessel, I'm a mirror for you to see who you are without judgment but love. I'm a passenger train, holding all whom wish to support you in this vital thing. You are here to see your divinity and what you are capable of. I'm a vessel, I'm a sanctuary, I'm a solace, I'm a safe haven to hold you in this space for you to heal yourself, to grow and evolve yourself. You are capable, and through me, your guide, I am here to raise you up. We're not meant to sink in despair or sorrow. We're meant to learn and grow. I'm a divine mother, a representative, here to hold and nurture you, to teach you self-soothing methods that you are so capable of. Tingling. I'm tingling. And that's how I know that, like, spirit tingle, that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, which is to be vulnerable in front of you and bear it all, who and what I am. You can feel it. So let's do a little card reading. Well, it's not little, but divination for me has always served as my roadmap to know where I am when it doesn't seem very clear, because sometimes in the thick of it, you cannot see the forest for the trees because you get scared. All right. This is where I get very odd with my need for tidiness in the environment. So, anyway, and it's okay. So, let's talk about another thing. There are as many people out there. There are so many composites and formations and variables, and there is no normal. I mean, come on. Normal is just something that we have created to make ourselves feel safe so that we can all join together, like in primitive growth of humanity, for us to join together in numbers for survival. We've evolved, we've grown, we've gone through all the ages, and here we are. Time is not the only thing that's relevant, but we're growing in consciousness. We're adapting. There's a huge part of our brains that we know scientifically that we're not using. What is that part? Perhaps intuition. Now, all of a sudden, here I am, 43 years old, talking about intuition, psychic abilities. I don't like the term woo-woo because I feel it's condescending, but all this woo-woo stuff is now commonplace. That we've grown so much in our perception and our tolerance for what we will allow into our reality. We know our eyes can only perceive a fraction of what's surrounding us. Our brains will only allow us to comprehend a certain amount of what we perceive comprehensible to keep us sane. We're growing, expanding consciousness, so we're also gaining more awareness to what else is around us. Yeah? So perhaps wide out there thought, and I'm going to have a conversation with a friend of mine more on this subject, and I cannot wait. Follow Polly's Treasure Island. Anywho, we're all on a spectrum. We all are. It's just a matter of perceiving our shades and nuances of what and where we fall within that range. Some of us are very fixed, and we might be very focused on how we present. Some of us might be a little bit more of an array, shape-shifting or multifaceted, and there's no better or worse. I love the term neuro-advanced. I'm sorry, being one that is ADHD, it's been proven, and anyone who's been around me will attest, I am a hummingbird. I am a dragonfly, meaning I can multitask. My brain is going so fast. Again, it is. People with ADHD's brains are going faster, which is part of the problem, because when they're with people whose brains are not working in that way, it can be irritating or incomprehensible. I'm not linear. My husband and I have moments where he's just like, whoa, subject. Can we have a subject? I don't even know what you're talking about, because I'm like, ding, 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 ding. And if you followed me on my channel, you've been there with me. And it's that Tasmanian devil, whirling dervish, chaos, evolution of healing that I am. I mean, if you've ever seen me mow a lawn, it gets done. It gets done well. Every blade of grass is mowed. And I will tell you, it is not in rows. I seriously, if I could have been a bird watching myself, it is seriously the chaos symbol. And damned if it doesn't work, but I am sure it looked fucking ridiculous. But that's who I am, how I get it done, and it works for me, so c'est la vie. So, as a collective, let's tap in to what chakra and what we're working on, where we are on the map. We're working on the crown chakra. Higher consciousness. We're working on evolving our higher consciousness, the creation. And part of that is in this Aquarian age, you know, we've gone through the age of enlightenment and the technology revolution. And in a way, we swung out of balance and kind of discounted spirituality, nature. And that's part of why we're in this predicament that we're in environmentally. But we're getting back to it. That's why all of a sudden people are talking about meditating. Like common everyday people are meditating. Woohoo! Woohoo! Yay! We're getting back to nature. This current status that we're in with the way the world is at the moment has led us to go within, reconnect to nature. We have more green spaces. I love it. I really do. I mean, sure, there are awful parts of right now that I don't feel comfortable with and I don't love. I love all the green spaces. Let's keep that going. We're learning very much our boundaries. We're rethinking how we work, what's important to us. We're getting back to what we want our worlds to look like now and in the future, what we want to build and grow. Birch trees are beautiful symbolism. One of my favorite links is to the fairy realm. You know, this woman is a medicine woman, shaman, healer, connector to the I'm not looking at everyone, sorry. I'm sorry, it's hard to focus on everyone at the same time. Truer statements have never been uttered from this mouth. Being a stream of consciousness is incredibly hard. And I'll back that thing up because I got so close. Anyway, creation so that you guys can see it too. Everyone! Ah! Anyway, we're getting back to our inner ancestries, because if we carry within our veins, we know scientifically now that we can carry our ancestors' memories, you know, the same way that animals will carry how and what to do to survive. We have that too within us. And we need to tap into it. We are our own inner compasses. Like one time, actually, the first time I met my husband, we had met on OkCupid, and then we talked forever. And I was like, oh my God, is this going to be this person that only wants to talk to me? Like, are we not actually going to meet in person ever? Whatever. There's all kinds of people out there. But we did finally meet. And of all days, we went for a hike after a snowstorm. And we're talking like a mad amount of snow. And I decided to take him into the woods, which is insane. Absolutely insane. Like, people, don't take a stranger into the woods. I mean, I suppose I knew I was the scariest creature in the woods that day. But I took him into the woods. And I was like, I know where I'm going. Well, we go in, And we're hiking, and it was amazing. We saw bluebirds. I knew that day I was going to marry him. It was really weird, trippy day. And then we decided, it's getting late. Sun's going to set. We should probably go back. And I'm like, yeah, I know how to do it. And I start marching, and he's following me. He's a lunatic, I'm thinking. Completely mad. And I get us out of the woods, but we're somewhere where I know where we are in Richmond, but and I'm like, okay. And I'm looking around, and I'm like, I'm flipping absolutely nuts. We're going to die. I can't let that happen. I have a kid. Like, I got to get home. Not today, world. So I'm like, trust me, we have to go that way. And he laughed at me, and he told me that there is this sort of thing in birds' brains. They have this crystal that helps them navigate. And he was like, you're like one of those birds. So he trusted me. And we did. We made it to the car. And he typically would not have asked to go to dinner after that. Like, he would have like, that's enough. Let's disengage. Think about what just happened. And like very old-fashioned courtship. I loved it. But we didn't do that. He asked me to dinner, and I said yes. And, then later, I find out at dinner that my power was out, and it was kind of awesome. He didn't ask me to, he didn't try to save me. He was just like, all right, well, I think you'll be all right. You have lots of layers, right? And I sure did. So it was a beautiful meeting. And I don't know why I'm so rambling, but, I do. I remember now. Because, in fact, I also just learned when you meditate, bring it all back. It's a lot to stream. When you meditate, it does activate that part of our brains that we do have, and it helps us tap into that inner compass and navigational system. Oh, yeah. See, there's a method to the madness, and I have to remember there's always a reason why I'm rambling about it. I just have to get myself through the chaos, through the wilderness, to get on through. Now let's do the tarot. I really do think you can use divination to be your map. And you can shuffle however you want. You can do it however you want. Whatever feels right to me. But I'm an empath. That's what I feel in your heart space. Let that lead you, because they're all linked, your chakras. And the surefire way to get to your higher consciousness is through the heart space. So bottom of the deck, strength. Everybody now. This is hard. Strength. I'm going to give everybody their close-ups. Everybody. Strength. What does this image tell us? This is the moon. This is this person in red, lion, with the pyramids. It's a number 8. Okay, let's unpack that. The moon is symbolic of our intuition, the cycles. To me, it's also representing connecting to the elements in general. They help us, like birds use the North Star, sailors use the North Star. And gardening, really, to be successful, I haven't implemented it quite yet because I can't do everything at once. I'm only 43. You're supposed to use the lunar cycle and the solar cycles together for optimum success, which tells me, as a human, we should probably think that way too. also the gist of the strength card is that true strength doesn't always come from being rah! You know, your true strength comes from the heart space. But going back to what I was saying, boundaries, 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 self-care, self-care, self-care. You can't be strong if you're depleted. So sometimes you do have to roar. Sometimes it's okay to roar. There's some of us who need their egos dialed back, for sure. But there's also a huge amount of us who need our egos dialed up to feel okay with saying no or setting boundaries or even valuing ourselves. So, it's not one over the other. It's not about being overly loving and compassionate and forsaking your roar. It's knowing when to roar. Ooh, pyramids. Let's unpack that. Sacred geometry, pyramid. Like the most stable structure, and it has a trifecta to get it there. So that is intuition plus being grounded in your heart space, because going to your cave in your root chakra is another like portal direct to the heart space if you want to get deep. And I would say the 8 could be symbolic, infinity, the way to that balance and therefore the infinity sort of mental plane would be balancing the masculine and feminine. So all 3 of those things is what really makes you strong. How you like me now? I like me. Okay. I'm like, that's what I love about being a medium, is that I get to channel information and I'm like, damn, that is good. And it is me, but it's also more information that I get to channel through. So it's that, like, get excited. Like when you get to have these gifts, like sometimes it can be a mixed bag. I don't always love telling people the hard stuff. I never love telling people the hard stuff. It hurts me. I'm an empath. I share that space with you and hold that pain with you. So I don't relish that, but it is the best way to be your friend and help you, is to be honest. So Ace of Inspiration is, okay, strength would be our overarching message or theme of the reading, which is a damn good one. So where we are currently is Ace of Inspiration. Give you guys the close-ups. Okay. So in this entity's crown space, we have what looks like an agave or like hens and chick succulent sort of plant. She has a rainbow, or the person entity, they have a rainbow with these like sunbursty, I don't know what those are, but to me it feels like, if you really think about it, big picture, if you're looking at the sun or a star, which is the sun and a star are the same thing, right? Or like particle, energy, matter, they all kind of look the same. So this person is channeling harmonious frequencies with energy, and if we're evolving, at night we know that our cells repair themselves when we sleep. So every night we're regenerating to a certain degree. We're evolving, changing, growing. So, we're growing and channeling information. It's helping us grow. Cacti are in this. The sun is abundance, it's healing, it's energy. Cacti, let's think about cacti. They can endure without a lot because they hold what they need within and they rely on it. I would go as far as to say that those little spiky bits coming off the cacti, yes, it's defense. Where's the cacti? Damn it. There it is. Sure, it's defense, but in an abstract way of thinking, like if on animals, the antlers are their way of connecting to source, higher consciousness, I would imagine for cacti it's the same, right? So it's Ace of Wands, along with all of that, is a beautiful beginning. Ones are kind of, there's so much that one could say about numbers, but it's that being centered in yourself to start that new beginning, which when you're centered in yourself, in essence, you're connecting to that divine inner space, which is how you're connected to the divine. And wands are spirituality, there are fire. To me, I always think of wands as, if you're a magician, your wand is what you use to create with, what you want to manifest with. Part of how you channel your power. So this is a new beginning on how we go about channeling our power, what we want to create, what we want to manifest, how we want to go. Where do we want to go next? I'm just kidding. I'm jumping too far ahead. So then, okay, what is the obstacle or challenge of right now? 8 of Voices, 8 of Swords. It's letting go of the thoughts that aren't serving us. Let that shit go. Let it go. Take off the blindfold. See things clearly for what they are. Let stuff that doesn't serve your highest good, that isn't really real, let everything that isn't actually going to help you on your path, like sit with yourself. Ask yourself, do I really need to be afraid of this? Is this really threatening me for real right now? If no, let it go. It's not always so simple, but one of my favorite readers on here, I forget her name at the moment because there's so many people I love, but not today trigger, or not today thing that activates me to fear, no. Is it real? No, not today. It won't always work, but it does work a lot. Cause the Hierophant in reverse, if you want to take them, I don't always take them reverse. I do what feels right. But to me, with the reverse, a lot of times I'll look at my reversal as like inner or external. So we all need to be our own inner Hierophant, or our own inner compass, our own spiritual guide. Like, yes, it is important to connect with others, share conversation, have community. But at the end of the day, you have to follow your own inner compass of what feels right to your morals, your heart, because it's your life. It's no one else's. Like, if there is a judgment day at the end of it all, no one else is going to stand there but you. They're your actions. It's your life that you will review. Like, I've read in a book, The Light at the End of the Tunnel, I believe is the name of it, about after-death experiences. And you have a life in review. And no one else is there with you to take accountability for it. So you have to really not just go through the motions. You have to be present in the moment, thinking about your actions and why. Be mindful, right? Like, live your life as though each moment is a living prayer. What does that mean? It means be mindful of what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how it impacts the environment around you. To me. All right, moving forward. That's the problem sometimes, too, with being psychic, being cognizant, is sometimes I do go faster because my brain is moving forward to the next step. And I'm like, whoa, back it up. In real life, you got to go back to where you actually are in the moment so that you can actually be in the physical plane. So the goddess energy supporting us right now is Themis. Themis is one of the oldest, most revered of the Greek goddesses, the daughter of Gaia, the earth goddess. Themis is the mother of the three fates, who determine the destiny of all mortals and gods. Shown here as the giver of dreams, she was once consulted at Delphi as the bestower of oracles. Themis is prophecy incarnate. Her oracles derive from her sense of order and connection to nature. Coming all in, comes together. In later Greek mythology, transferred to Mount Olympus, she personified the social order of law and custom, a reminder that social order is ultimately dependent on the natural order of the earth. Themis is grounded, earthy goddess who is comfortable moving through shifting, manic world of dreams. She is deep wisdom, familiar with both the depths of earth and the heights of sky, a guide into soul. Which is what we were just saying. Which is why I read so many cards, because the message builds on itself, and I don't always listen to myself. I give very good advice. I seldom, I'll add in, if ever, follow it. Lewis Carroll. Sorry, I edited it a little bit for my own purposes, but that's the problem. We don't listen. I have quite an inner skeptic. So I have found if I consult an array of cards in different decks, I can't argue with it. Or if I get the same message over and over and over again, it's like, you daft, silly person, well, you hear it now. Or I'll go after that to external sources and hear it. And then sometimes it takes a little bit more. And then I hear it. And I'm like, okay, I hear it. I'm like, why am I so hard-headed? Why are we so hard-headed? All right. The archetype currently for us. Close-ups. Lovers, Swan, Pearl. Again, there's like this repeating threes. And this daisy that's yellow. So let's unpack that. Swans. I mean, I would probably dare say, I'll say, there's beautiful symbolism in just about every damn thing, because there really is. I haven't looked at mosquitoes yet, but I will. I do know that they're a powerful part of the food chain, so there's the importance of them right there. But swans are our link to the higher consciousness. Again, it comes back to the crown chakra. Higher consciousness, our divinity, has that sun sort of feeling to it. And then again, the yellow flower is another representation of the solar chakra, which the sun, solar chakra, solar. The pearl and the strength in the swan, which lately I keep telling people, I'm like, I'm sorry, I understand you're struggling, but the problem is that there's nothing wrong with you. You're just not a duck. You're a swan. So stop trying to be a duck. You're not a duck. I mean, yes, there might be ducks around you, and they're great. I love a duck. Great symbolism in a duck. But you're not a duck. You're a swan. So embrace your talents, who you are. Pearls are made from adapting to the environment they're in and growing from it and building something beautiful. And its pearls are also symbolic of our knowledge, and that is also cultivated similarly. So life's a bitch. Life can be hard, but it's through those challenges, truly, unfortunately, that we as humans have chosen generally to grow. So build, grow, do it. Middle world, the tree. In my meditations, I start with creating you in your tree form to ground you to the earth, the crystalline grid, then to grow you up and connect you to your other source of energy that supports you, the concept really of above and below. I link you as you already are, but help you really feel that. And if you're not ported in, get you back ported in to that connection, to that flow. And it is that infinity symbol, weaving, flowing through you like a fountain, circulating like the tree. Because that's how we really, in meditative state, what we're trying to get to, what we're doing, being in your crystalline body, being in your tree body, it's that connection. Or you can think of it as a white light going through your crown, in through your body, down your chakra system to your feet, and then back into the earth and circulating. But that is how we connect. That is how we get to our balance. When we are too busy running around going through the motions, we lose that equilibrium and we become uncomfortable or at dis-ease. So that is why we're craving, our bodies give us signals, our intuition gives us nudges to help support us. Generally they're not going to scream because they're going to realize at that point you're not listening, or your body will shut down. I mean, that's one form of screaming, I suppose. But, something else drastic will happen to get your attention because you're not listening. Monkey, inner child. Don't take life too seriously. I mean, that's part of the problem is we get triggered or activated into fear mode when what is the lesson in this? What is the lesson in this? How is this helping me grow? Would be more helpful. It's not always easy. And I mean, of course, depending on where you are in the world, there are degrees of intensity, and that's why everyone has to use their own situation, circumstances, and in discernment. And that's why I always say there are undue fears and then there are real fears. Don't cuddle with rattlesnakes because you can't blame a scorpion for stinging, or if you know that there are red flags screaming and that you shouldn't do something and you do it anyway, it might bite you. It probably is going to bite you. You're fearing that for a very reason. So there are times to take it seriously, and then there are times to be like, is this real? Is this my fear of expectation of what could possibly happen? Am I holding on to something that happened in the past and importing it into a new situation? You got to discern. Sometimes you have to take a breath, count to 10, and think, feel, hear, sense, like tap in to know. All right. Then we have in the herbal kingdom, bergamot. Expansion is the keyword. Trigger statement or activation statement, I'm not enough. True statement, I love myself. Your tender heart is in need of care. Know that your body is here to help you experience a miraculous life. Embrace it. Again, your body gives you signals to help you survive. It also has functions that are miraculous, that help it to sustain itself. We're not using all of our parts and pieces. And part of what we have to do when we arrive here in this world as humans is to remember who and what we are, cultivate our gifts, talents, abilities, and then harness them and grow into the best possible version of ourselves to fulfill that soul mission that we came here for to the best of our potential and abilities, creating our heaven on earth in the here and now. That's what we came here for. So wake up, gain that consciousness of who and what you are, why you are, what you're here to do, and carpe diem. That's where we are right now. As individuals, as a collective, we're all one. We're all having the same human experience to a certain degree. What legacy do you want to leave behind? What do you want to build and create? What do you want to be remembered for? What do you want to be known for? Think about it. Chew on that. And now I leave you with that. Best of wishes, all the love. Self-care has many facets to what that entails. It's a full mind-body regimen, in my opinion. Your body is a temple. What you eat, what you pay attention to, what you think, how you treat yourself, as well as others, is all part of the kit and caboodle, part and parcel. So, best of wishes, all love, be well holistically, and we're in it to win it. We're in it together. So go team, go.